And I gave the show the wrong title today. Duh, I don't know what I was thinking. What was I thinking? Obviously, it is the wrong title. It should be Total Eclipse of the Moopsy. Duh. Duh, 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 duh. Can I go and change that? I'm sure there's a way to change that on here. Let's see. That's on Discord. Let's go over there. No, that's not letting me do that. It's got to be here someplace. Well, I know where I can change it later. Let's try that one. There's the edit function. There we go. We are now a total eclipse of the Moopsy. That feels better. Anyway, good morning and welcome to the, no, not the Dark Mom Consortium, the other one, Moopsy in the Morning, for April the 8th, 2024, Total Eclipse Day here in the middle of the States. I know it's not eclipsing for everybody, but it is here. So, as I gather, the line of totality is like Texas to Maine. Take a look here. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, it comes up from Texas. I love the fact you can't find a single decent map of it. There we go. I wanted to look at this. Oh, the AccuWeather one. So, yeah, it starts down actually in Mexico. We'll come up, hit Austin, Dallas, Texarkana, Little Rock, Poplar Bluff, Iowa, smack dab in the middle, Paducah. Indianapolis is just north of it. I know they changed the line of totality a little bit earlier, but we're still in good shape. Dayton, Cleveland, Buffalo's almost in the middle, and Burlington, Vermont? I haven't done my maps in a while. I want to say that's Vermont. Burlington, Vermont. So anyway, they were talking about millions of people being on the road today, which is probably true, to get to the eclipse. And I thought, well, good. The place I wanted to go was Bloomington, Indiana, which is a big college town, but they said they're expecting 500,000 people. Not doing that one. Good morning, Chris. Oh, they didn't rob you of it, Chris. They spared you, but no, I'm sure they'll bring it back over there. Figure it out somehow. Because, Paramount is not in good position to rob any. Well, I guess they kind of did have to rob one. Oh, well, yeah, but you'll get to see it, won't you? You just might have to wait for it. I did not watch either episode. A couple of people kind of told me what was on, but I'm still doing house stuff. And speaking of, yes, I've been gone for a couple of days here. Let's see, Friday had scheduled off, but why was I gone Thursday? I think it was gone Thursday. Yes, but you like Discovery. I'm going to have to get a running start if I'm going to watch it. You tolerate it? Okay, you like Voyager. I have been rewatching Voyager because I've got a thought in mind, and it's not as bad as I remember it. Now, whether that's because I'm tolerant of worse stuff these days because there's so much garbage on, and that's so much better in comparison. But it could have been better. It could have been a lot better. And the thing is, I don't know how to describe it. It didn't do conflict the way it could have. I think if they had been a little, let's see. Picking up topics from TNG means they couldn't think of something on their own. And yes, I do know what the episode's about. I'm going to put you down here, little one. Ugh. Because there's spoilers in everything about it. But I will watch it eventually, and we can discuss it. I have it after all. I might as well go watch it. But I haven't even turned on my TV downstairs in a week. Get up, write my list of all the things I need to do, go to work. So why wasn't I here Thursday? I probably overslept or something like that. Oh, Friday was out of town, yeah. Anyway, I will attempt to watch it Not today, because there's an eclipse. There are no character developments in Voyager. In Discovery. Ooh. Well, okay, well that might be good then. I can live with that. But you know, when it comes to putting that on and I've got an option to do so many other things, it's really hard. Okay, so getting slightly OT and talking Silver Fox. I somehow had my feed wind up doing the Jack Black red carpet music video to Baby One More Time. And Jack Black is amazing. Older guy, heavy set, definitely heavy set. But, man. So I'm into a Jack Black kick again. Aside from that, my entire weekend has been dealing with the rain, which is now done for a couple of days, so the backyard's dried out. And I've discovered I have basically no lawn. It flooded out, and what little was there is gone. So I got some grass seed, and then I realized I don't have a rake, so I thought I'd borrow the rake from work. We don't have a rake at work. Okay, well, how am I going to do this? I've got to buy a rake, got to buy a shovel, got to buy a hose, because I don't have a hose. And it's always something. This was an expensive weekend of just buying the little things in a total over $1,000. That's like half my paycheck. And that's stuff I just have to have. One more weekend I go meet with my financial advisor and see if I can step back and take some money out of my accounts. Which, yes, I know I can. It's my money. But I need to make sure there's enough there for another 30-some years. Yeah, anyway, what have you got on your list today, Chris? I've got Zenkethi ships in space as opposed to the Zenkethi ships on the ground. Undine ships, probably in space too. And phaser damage on the ground. Wow. That is not exciting. Let's see what we've got on the other account, just out of curiosity. Undine ships and Herald ships. Cool. We can get those done. Since I have Undine ships too. So I was just thinking, why don't I watch television anymore? Because I used to, eat dinner, camp out in front of the TV. I think it might be related to the fact that after eating dinner, after preparing all the food, getting the groceries, doing all that stuff, eating dinner, I have to wash all the dishes, have to feed the dog, have to wash their dishes. It's kind of like there's nothing else in my life except... Yeah, I watch Twitch more than anything else too. But that means camping out, and I haven't set it up downstairs. And it doesn't have a remote control. Let's see, this tune is Restore Shields. Oh my god, this one's not that much better. I've got a plasma damage in space. Woof. Okay, we'll go back to the main account then. There you go. Well, Chris, let me send you an invitation here. And just to get you and everybody else a heads up, I should be on every morning this week. I don't know of any reason I won't be on. And then in the evenings, maybe tonight. That will depend entirely on how fast I can get back from the eclipse. Tomorrow for sure. Wednesday, probably not. I need to go to class. And then Thursday, Friday. Next week, though. Next week will be interesting. So, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday mornings, and Tuesday and Wednesday evenings, because Frost will be out here late on Wednesday night and very early Thursday morning. My son will come over and take over the house for a while, and we are heading off to DNICon, and I am not taking my big computer. And I can't live stream off my short computer. So that should be interesting. So we will be off next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So basically gone for a week. So you said you had Undine ships, Chris. How would you feel about Undine Assault? Well, we can just go do Battle Zone. I've got, how many ships do you have? Yeah, 30 ships. Let's queue for Undine Assault. Because the Battle Zone first thing in the morning, sometimes everybody's there. But if this doesn't queue up in a few minutes, we'll go take care of that. Yeah, I hate Borg Disconnected. It's just that it's so long. But if it doesn't queue up, then I will get off this tune and go get a ship that can do. I suppose I could try it. I'm gonna get killed if I do it in this ship. We'll give this 2 minutes. If it doesn't queue up, then I will switch to a ship that can handle Borg Disconnected. Excuse me, to a tune that can handle Borg Disconnected. So anyway, my garage is almost empty of boxes. It's now filled up with crushed boxes and furniture that... Dear God, how did these people... Okay, I shouldn't say this. I shouldn't say this because I was young and had a young family once, and doing things on a budget was kind of the way you did it. But this furniture that they built into their closets as furniture is... It's not IKEA level. It's not even Walmart level of quality. This stuff is cheap. And they had that stuff bolted down because otherwise it was going to fall out. And I ripped a couple of huge holes in the wall trying to pull that stuff out because it simply wasn't put in correctly. So there's a wall anchor where basically it's self-tapping. It's got a hard tip, and you use that as the screw, and as you drill it in, it slowly feeds into an anchor. Then when you screw in the screw, like Phillips roundhead or something, it expands the anchor so that it stays locked in place. It's actually a really clever idea, and you can unscrew it. Wee woo. Wee woo for you. Okay. But you can unscrew it and back it out, and you generally wind up with a hole that's patchable.
The Undine are attacking along 3 vectors. These vectors have fluidic rifts that need to be closed.
But somehow they managed to put it in wrong, so when it came out, it ripped 3-inch hole out of the wallboard. Fortunately, it's in the back of the closet, and I'm planning to get the whole area renovated. Not this year. Maybe next year. Let's see, where am I on this map? I am at the southernmost position, along with Muddock. Lasker is in the center. Chris is up north. Looks like Victor Gorza is down here too. No, I don't see where Victor Gorza is. Somewhere. Shout if you need a hand. Like I've got that much.
Errant fluidic rift has opened between the lanes. Precision knocks. An Undine Dreadnought has entered local space. Performing a scan of the rift now.
Oh, that's interesting.
Undine Fluidic Space Rift Beta has been closed. Close the fluidic rift now. Undine Fluidic Space Rift Gamma has been closed.
I need to turn up my volume on this, don't I? Hate it when the ships just do the undine thing and disappear then. It's not right. There it is.
Undine Fluidic Space Rift side has been closed.
I love how we're all ignoring the errant drifts. Or the errant drifts.
An Undine Dreadnought has entered local space. Close the fluidic rift now. Undine Fluidic Space Rift Omega has been closed.
That's interesting. Asteroid fragments are showing up here. What is this that's sitting over here that I can't see? Okay. Probably that asteroid fragment again.
fluidic space rift alpha has been closed.
I wonder if we lost the command ship on this line.
An Undine dreadnought has entered local space.
Where the heck is the command ship? This is interesting. There it is. It's all the way back here. Must have gotten blown up. Good morning, Wicked Styles. How are you today? Ooh, goody, I got a tri-cobalt mine launcher. Green. Ooh. We're coming up to the first rift position, so we'll be there eventually. Wish there was a way to make him move faster, but there really isn't, is there? Oops. Oh, now he's moving. Fine. Be that way. Why don't I remember there being asteroids in here? Did we lose him again? Ugh, he's back there. He's still at the rift. I'm doing good. How are you doing? It's Eclipse Day.
Ship is under attack.
Come on, command vessel. Get your butt out of there. It's done. You can move. She's just gonna stay there.
Undine Fluidic Space Rift Chi has been closed.
All right. Well, I suppose we could have done Borg disconnected faster than we did that one. Though typically this one doesn't take that long. So Wicked, my boss wanted to have a whole Eclipse party, and she got glasses for everybody, and she said, oh, we'll do it right after work because we get out at 3 basically. And everyone was of the opinion of, or we could all leave at 2:30 and go home and watch it with our families. She was a little disappointed in that, but the upshot is they're all leaving at 2:30 to go home and watch it with their families. And I'm taking the day off to go someplace. Which is all coming down to juggling what the weather looks like and where it looks like it's going to be a good spot. Use my current location. Thank you very much. Yes. So let's look at the map. I hate commercials. There we go. Let's see. Rainy weather Wednesday. I don't care about Wednesday. I care about today. Partly cloudy. Very warm. On the map, it looks like we don't have anything anywhere around us. And I'm aiming for a place that's east of Indianapolis on the Ohio border. A couple of lakes there, so fairly flat. Shouldn't be a ton of trees. The problem with going south where the line is better is trees every place, so you have to find a fairly open area. Is it my problem there's not enough people to tasks required for addressing? Give me an example. So Wicked, my boss is amazing. All my bosses are amazing. Yeah, families are always invited to things like that. It's just it's the end of the workday for everybody, and they're all like, we'd rather go home. If it was noon, if it's lunchtime, if it's morning, totally good. Oh, that kind of thing. Is it your problem? No, it is your boss's problem, Chris. Yeah, I've been watching this very interesting English guy who talks about good bosses, good management, bad management. And generally, when a boss doesn't make a good decision or doesn't make any decision, it is his or her problem. We have a fair amount of autonomy, so we are encouraged to make decisions. If you make a bad decision, though, your boss comes to you and explains, this is a better decision. This is how I'd like you to do it moving forward. If you need to come to me to get some backup, emotional or whatever, we'll do it. People don't get chewed out here. There you go. Wicked, I love letting my family meet my work family. Yes, yes, indeed. When they say we're like a family around here, at my office, they're really not kidding. We do parties when people get married, when they have kids, birthdays. We have our gardens, and everybody's encouraged to do the garden. My sons come in on occasion just to visit everybody. We have a relative of one of the owners who works with us who's amazing. It's not one of those nepotism things. It might have been at one time, but this is a guy who is really good at his job. So yeah, it's a good place. No, do your job, Chris. Do your job. If you do somebody else's job, nobody's going to appreciate you for it. Okay, let's see. You said you had other things to do. You said you had to do heraldships, correct? Okay. Oh, don't. Read your job description, do that. Ah. Yeah, finding a good boss wicked is super challenging. Well, it sounds like we're dealing with issues with lousy bosses today, which, typical Monday thing. Well, your boss gets in trouble because that person has a lousy boss too. Usually. I mean, sometimes it's because they're total a-holes and make a bad decision, but Um, one of my first days in, I screwed up something not horrendous, but pretty good. And went to my boss, explained the situation, told him I took full responsibility, and, what do you need me to do to make it good? And he's like, nothing, it happens. If you got a question in the future, ask if you need to. But, we didn't hire you because we didn't trust you. We hired you because we did trust you. I've had a couple bosses like that. One of them stayed good up until he got it in his brain that he was an important person. And then he became a total horse's patoot. Ooh, yeah, no. Sometimes that's not good. Sometimes that's not good. Okay, we're going to take a 30-second break here. I'm going to go pull another cup of coffee. It's going to be a minute break. I'll be right back in 1 minute of coffee. Hello. Chris says, I genuinely hate these young generations that think you gotta show to your bosses you care, so you bend over and take more than you can carry. Actually, that's every generation, Chris. I grew up that way. Show them how much you can do, how strong you are, how dedicated you are. And depending on the company, I guess I'm older than millennials, depending on the company, that might or might not work. Well, good for you then. Let me jump over here and get some volume adjustments made. To adjust system volumes. Not sure which one I'm on there. Oh, that way. Okay. All right, that should fix the sound problem. Yeah, there we go. Much better. All right, we had some herald ships. Gateway to Grethor. Does that work for you, Chris? Again, Wicked, don't overgeneralize. I worked with ex-military. I still work with ex-military. And it just depends on the person. One of them was picky, but didn't ask you to do more than you could do. Actually, that's probably very true of the ones I work with. So I train in martial arts, and we're dealing with current Navy, ex-Army, ex-Marines, ex-cops. And yes, they're picky. Really picky. There's one way to do things correctly. Until, of course, there's two ways to do things correctly. But if you can't do it, you can't do it, and we discover workarounds and other ways to do things. Employ less people, expect more. Yes, and what I've learned to expect is people leaving as soon as they can find something better. Yep, some are bad, but I think that's the nature of people. Chris, are you okay with Gateway to get your Herald chips? Does anybody else need Gateway? Gateway. Greatway. That one. Wicked Styles, do you need to jump into game here to get Gateway? Yeah, okie doke. Gateway will get it done. So I will tell you, I tried to be a good boss. It turns out that wasn't my forte. Being a boss is not what I'm good at. Oh, no. Okay, well, we'll run this one. Go ahead and have your smoke. I know you do, Chris, and you know you just have to make sure you got someplace else to go first. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, there have been a few jobs I needed to quit. One I quit without having another job, and that turned out to possibly not be my best decision ever. Oh no, Wicked, I don't think anyone thinks Amazon is an easy job. I don't know anyone who thinks the work they do is easy. We used to be next to a distribution center for 2 years. Holy crud, those guys hauled butt. And the thing is, it had to be a tough job because we saw people come for a week or 2, 3, 4, and then just be gone. Job market, though, is still good. There's so many jobs being added. But from what I've heard, even UPS is better than Amazon. But again, they run super lean. And when you start to run really lean, you start to make mistakes because people are stressed. Weeboo? So in a matter of brilliance, my house is, let's say, 1234 Jones Drive, and 90 degrees to where my house is. Sorry, across the street from where my house is 1234 Smith Court. Now, why they put the same number and they're on the same street? It looks like it's actually facing the other house or the other street. I get everybody's Amazon and UPS packages for the other side. I suspect they get mine too. Chris, sorry, Wicked, change your resume. If you're just looking for a job and you're overqualified, change your resume. Look at the job description. Write down the listings. Garfield Logan, hold on a second, I have to say that. There's somebody here named Garfield Loken, which is one of my favorite characters. Yeah, just amend your resume to make it fit the job description. Don't lie, but don't include everything. So I have years and years of qualifications in HR. But every job I could find that fit my needs was in bookkeeping, which I've got years of experience in. So I just deleted the references to HR, or included what aspects were appropriate, i.e. I did payroll, blah, 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 blah. And later, as it became important for me to let them know I also did that, I let them know. Heading over to the shipyard. So the job I'm at needed somebody who knew bookkeeping light. Yeah, did that. Made my resume fit that. And as I'm going through the interview, they're like, oh, but we also need somebody to write our blogs and social media and all that. I wrote a book. Does that help? Oh! Like I said, read the job description of the job you want. Change your resume to focus on those skills. Doesn't mean you have to lie, but if they're looking for somebody who's done this, put it in. You know, let's say overseeing shipping. You put that in there. You can even put in the number of years, but don't say you were the head of shipping or something like that.
Shipyard transports have been.
But it does mean you're going to change your resume every single time for every job. Why is that coming up that way? There we go.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Good morning, Cliff.
Those gateways are emitting intense levels of beta radiation. Close them. Transports from the starbase are moving toward the planet.
Target shield has failed.
Alright, we're out of commercials. Let me jump back here. Wicked, you don't need to buy my book. One, because you already know how to play the game. And two, because you need to spend your money on more important things than my book. And to Cliff. Good morning, Cliff, the self-aware AI. I am good this morning. Thank you very much for asking. It's Eclipse Day. Woohoo! Okay, I converted most of my dilithium to Zen. Enough. And was able to buy the MUDS bundle, the small one, on both accounts. So One of these days. One of these days.
Target shields have failed.
The troop transports from the starbase are moving toward the planet.
So one of these days I will start leveling up all the ships, probably when we get back from the convention. Frost and I are going to go to the DNI convention, which is Diversity and Inclusivity Convention, which is... it's a Star Trek convention, let's be honest. And we're going to do the whole game thing there. And I think that might be our last convention. At least for a while. It's getting expensive. Really expensive.
The troop transports from the starbase.
And while it's nice
are
to go out and
moving
do
toward the
things,
planet.
well, dropping $10,000 to go to a convention when we don't make any money doing it is... I could go take a vacation for $10,000. If they ever start having official Star Trek conventions again, then yes, we'll get back into it. And I did not win the $1.3 billion. One person or one ticket in Oregon won it. Just amazing. Can you imagine having $1.3 billion?
The troop transports from the starbase
Your Universe
are
Heavy
moving toward the planet.
Cruiser Retrofit. Is that a Tier 5, Cliff? Hey, Wicked, there's a slight difference in that I'm a little bit older than you, and when my husband passed, he left me some money, which was left to him by his mother, which I will leave for my son, so, you know, I'm not going to live cheap for the next few years, but I'm throwing 47 years I have been working. I figured it out the other day. I'm entitled, is it 47? 48 years I've been working now. I'm entitled to have a little money in the bank and take the occasional vacation.
The troop transports from the starbase are moving toward the planet.
Let's see, 19 seconds here. Anything that's coming off those T5 coupons, if somebody needs one, let me know. I'm sitting on some. Oh, Cliff, that just goes back to I really want to retire soon. Like,
A herald
today?
dreadnought has entered the system.
But I still got stuff I got to figure out. And my money guy, which is a nice way of saying financial advisor, I called him in February, and he's like, can we talk about this after tax season? Sure, no problem. I've waited this many years. A few more isn't going to change anything.
Herald ships are attacking the starbase.
Can we make it go away? Nope. Not quite yet. Sorry about that. The thing I find interesting, though, is my husband's mom left money to him and to his brother, and my husband left it to me, and I want to leave it to my son because he's the last one of our family. He's not going to have kids. So I'm thinking, you know what? If I do this right, make sure he's got enough money when I pass away, he can quit at that point, figure out how to keep the money, enough money to live out the rest of his life and have a good time, and end this on a good note.
Our troops have landed.
So, Wicked, I've lost the track there. You didn't ask them why, didn't ask who why. My financial dude? Oh, why he can't chat until then? So this is a guy who inherited his business from his dad, who was my in-law's financial counselor for 30 years, and then he got in the business, has his degrees in it. But during tax season, everybody's trying to figure out how to maximize or minimize their taxes, maximize their income. And I'm probably one of his lower level clients. Most of them are in the tens of millions to billions of dollars range. So yeah, it's a busy time for him. I worked as an accountant and bookkeeper for years, yeah. April 16th is usually the day we all sit back and take that deep breath and go, okay. But yeah, January 31st, when everybody starts getting W-2s and 1099s, all the way up till April 15th is crazy. Crazy busy for him. Well, that was fun. So in the last run, we had a ship named the Garviel Loken, which if you haven't read the Warhammer books, Garviel Loken is one of my favorite characters. And let me see if I can describe him better. Works better when I can type. Originally the captain of the Luna Wolves, Sons of Horus Space Marines. So he left after the Horus Heresies. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there is... There's no one book that really explains Loken as well as the whole story. Let's see. Let's go back through here. There's a couple of very good books. Come on, just give me the book names. Well, it talks about the Istvan atrocities, which is true, and it's covered in one of the books. But he's a really sympathetic, understanding character, if you like Warhammer. It is Warhammer. Wicked, being 39-40 is a rough age. I was kind of fortunate. I was working at the University of Chicago at that point. And there's a lot going on. My husband was in good health, so I started doing some exploration of life. That's when I started going and taking myself on vacations. Good morning, that Rose. How are you doing? I'm good, thank you very much. It's a good age. However, I also discovered my body was starting to fail when I turned 40. That's when I started to, vision wasn't as good. Broke a tooth, which led to the adventure of getting dental implants. I can tell you, dental implants are a thing. It took 6 months. Excuse me 1 second. It took 6 months, but now I have a titanium tooth implanted in my jaw. Cool. So Cliff says, I generally name my ships after moons in Greek mythology. Unless I'm going to keep the ship, I don't rename it. This one, which I really love, my Gagarin, is the Hadfield. Named for Chris Hadfield because, I love Chris Hadfield. But most of them are just names. I have a few named for Ed. I have a few named for my dogs. But when you're burning through ships super fast just to level them, I'm not going to bother renaming them. I barely put equipment on. It's just, let's see how fast we can get that one done. Well, Wicked, back in the day, 40 was extreme old age. Ooh. So my neighbor, my brand new neighbor's brand new neighborhood, we were chatting at the fence, and she goes, "Oh, you watch Star Trek?" I'm like, "Yeah, you could say that." She goes, "My husband, William Shatner's going to be in town today," which he is. He's going to be in Indianapolis for the Eclipse. And I said, "Ah, yeah, I've met him." Okay. She goes, "But I love Patrick Stewart." I'm like, "Oh, I've met him. In fact, I went out to lunch with him and dinner, and cocktail parties, and hung out with him after a couple of plays." And she's just doing the, huh? Okay, so maybe I do a little bit more than like Star Trek. Oh, Cliff, that's just knowing how to play the cards right and getting to all the same events. To the extent that I know he doesn't recognize me, but his wife does, which is lovely. And she's like, "Oh, Patrick, you remember Kay?" And of course he doesn't, because he meets 8 million people. But she's lovely. Let's see. My dad got his first gray hair when around 47-ish. I got my first gray hair at 18. The joys of being at my 18th birthday and my sister standing behind me going, "Hey, you're getting gray hair." Shoot. But you can't tell that now, because right now it is blue and green and looks like the ocean. Like it says around 28, yeah. So, hey, Wicked, your dad did well. So what's weird is my mom turned gray, gradually, starting in her late 40s into her 60s, and, slowly going to salt and pepper. Except, you know how some women have a patch of silver hair? Depending on how you brush it, you can get, the gray being in, so it's very prominent. She had a patch of hair that never went gray. It was jet black at the back of her head. It was the weirdest thing. The non-graying hair. I don't think my sister ever went gray. She may be now, because she's in her 80s. I'll have to get a picture of her. But she, like me, loved changing her hair color all the time. Did it look awesome? It looked... If you knew it was there, it was amazing. If you didn't know where it was, because it was on the back of her head, and not everybody saw the back of her head. I did, because, I'm in the house all the time. I just thought it was interesting. Anyway, I'm going to go get myself ready and hit the gym and stuff, since I'm not working today. I'm going to put in a couple hours on some work stuff. I love it. I'm not working, so I'm going to do some work stuff. And I will be back maybe this evening. Not 100% sure. But definitely be back tomorrow morning and tomorrow night. So everyone, have a Moopsy day if you're in the States. It is not called Workaholic. It's called Paycheck. I have a major project that I've been working on for 3 years. I'd like to wrap it. We're at that point where it's getting close to being wrapped. Probably another 500 hours worth of work to finish it up. And then I have 2 more projects. And then I have to learn Premiere Pro. So I've got work to be done. Enough to keep me going for a while. Anyway, we will be back tomorrow morning for sure, maybe earlier than that. Have a wonderful day. If you're in the States, enjoy the eclipse. If you're not in the States, I'm sure they will have it out there. Cliff, I have everything set up for the camera right here. Once I get the back wall painted here, we will be good. I just updated Stosh. Great. Awesome, Wicked. We will look forward to doing that. Everyone have a great day, and as we say, stay moopsome.